Invisible Orange, Canadian independent concert promoter, presents orangeZine Video Ball. Welcome to the Invisible orangeZine Video Ball, episode 5. In this episode, we have an interview with the band The Hallowed Catharsis that many of you already know and are familiar with. We also have another interesting interview with a new band called Snakeblade. So let's get this started. We're going to go first to the interview with the Hallowed Catharsis here at the orangeZine Video Ball. Ooh. Hey. Okay, this is Mario and I'm at Pandora Park where we are going to interview the Hallowed Catharsis. So we were going to meet here, allow social distancing in the rain. It was supposed to be sunny, but we have a lot of rain now, and I don't think the guys are here. No. Okay, let's go look for them. Looks like it stopped. Ooh. We changed the location for the interview with the Hallowed Catharsis, and we're going to find them at their jam space. So let's go there. Woo. Okay, here we are with the Hallowed Catharsis. Found them in the rain, and this is take 2 of the interview.
Take 2.
Yeah. You guys were telling me that I'm being victim of something called a THC course.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to hear more about it, so now you guys have to explain to me what's going on.
Okay, let's pick some choice nuggets. Well, we're sorry that our curse has affected you. Yeah, we've had a lot of bad luck through the years. I don't know if you promoted this show, the one that Gift Giver was on. Do you remember that?
Veil of Maya, Revocation, Gift Giver, THC, and Galactic Pegasus. And
yeah, anyway, Gift Giver was this sort of beat down band from Michigan, and they were promoting an album called Shit Life, which wasn't particularly good or anything. But the nicest member in their band was the bassist. And then right after that show, they were driving down into Washington, and they left their bassist on the side of the road for being a gay man because they were bigoted. And our response to that was, well, fuck you guys, and Shit Life is not yours, that's ours now. Yeah. So the Shit Life term belongs to us because we have such a shit time of trying to make our band work. So anyway, fuck the bigoted guys in Gift Giver, by the way. But anyway, we're cursed. Some notable examples: Nanaimo, Cami Nanaimo key debacle, or the truck keys in Kelowna?
Cami Nanaimo.
Go for it.
We can go forever. But we were playing at the Cambie in Nanaimo on the island 5 years ago or something. And we love playing there. We always try to end our tours in Nanaimo. It's always a great time because you play the show downstairs and you sleep in the hostel upstairs. Yeah. They have bunk beds and everything. It's a riot. And basically we bought a bunch of beer and a bunch of alcohol, and we thought, oh, we're gonna have such a good party after the show.
Best night ever.
And so we put it all into the bathtub.
Was this Sci-Fi and Fried, by the way? Okay,
no, it was before. Yeah. It was Bushwhacker John, I think.
Yeah.
And we basically put
hostel after parties.
Yeah. We basically put all the beer and all the booze into the bathtub and cover it with ice. And we're like, it's gonna be so cold after the show. It's gonna be so awesome. And somebody in the band basically locked the door from the inside and then closed it. So we were all locked out of the bathroom. And we didn't know this until after the show. So we come upstairs all sweaty and we're all ready to have a beer and
have a shower. Yeah. Get to chill in.
The bathroom is locked so no one can use the toilet, and all the alcohol's gone, no one can shower, and we're just like, what? Okay. So I think in the end we were trying to be opening the door with credit cards, and in the end Nick, our previous bassist, he full on unscrewed the door. and we just like took off the whole door and had like a sad party.
But he was a hero.
Yeah, he was a hero, but that was a real sad party because it was like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. by the time we got inside the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We were playing Kelowna, and this is with the same Tahoe.
Yeah.
Towing a trailer this time. We finished playing at Munins Post in downtown Kelowna, and it was awesome. And then we go to drive away, and I asked Kyle to give me the keys back, and he takes out the key ring and realized that it's busted open and the actual ignition key is gone. So we scour the venue, can't find it. It's nowhere to be seen. All we can do is lock the vehicle and take a sad ride to the after party, and we'll figure out what to do with this vehicle the next day and somehow get home. So we call a locksmith. We get keys made up with the VIN number so that we can drive this thing home. And then when we get there, someone is walking by, or it's the venue owner's mom or something. She looks over. She looks over on a ledge and sees this ignition key and goes, "Is this yours?" And we're like, "Fuck."
We had just spent $300 getting a new key, and she found the key like within 1 minute.
And last one.
Just before. Also, shout out to Proto Sequence for letting us ride in La Penunga and saving our ass for that tour, so we weren't stranded at the venue.
Tonight, here we are, and we record a really cool interview, and then we talk about a lot of things and life, and we laugh and cry, and
now you know about shit.
We only have 4 minutes of video.
Well, now you're officially in THC. You're officially part of the Catharsis crew now. Yeah, yeah.
I've been initiated.
Yeah. I kind of want to do a 30-second timer and see how fast Kevin can explain the history of THC.
The history of
yeah,
that's what you want me to do?
30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try it.
Sure.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah.
I want to see.
That's okay with you?
Yeah. if everyone's okay with that, we're going to try this in 30 seconds. So on your marks, get set, go.
THC was founded in 2013. Vince, you, and myself were friends, and we played in a band before. Vince knew Kyle, who was another guitarist. Together, we wanted to get together to play progressive death metal. We did that for a while, and then we had a bunch of different lineup changes. We finally have the lineup we do now. We play more death metal in style than we did before, and we've committed to doing only concept albums of our own universe, starting with Solar Cremation, Guy Expulsion, and Kill Owner. That didn't tell the whole story, but I made it in time.
That was amazing. Okay.
Nice.
That was incredible.
We were talking more about how the sound progressed from those progressive to like the more in-your-face death metal, which is a segue to talk about Kelowna.
Okay, so we won a battle of the bands in Kelowna, and the prize was 3 songs worth of recording time. So we were driving down to this battle, the band's fantasizing about winning it, and we said, like, well, wouldn't it be sick if to just like take that 15 minutes of recording time and write the most heinous music we could possibly fit into that space, and whatever, we'll chop it up to tell them that it's 3 songs. And because it's going to be in Kelowna, what if we like played off Kelowna as a concept, like Kill Owner? Okay, great, now we have a name. What does Kill Owner mean? Oh, it means that aliens have totally abducted people like we've done to wolves and turned them into freaky chihuahuas and French bulldogs, but human versions on another planet. And wouldn't it be brutal to be one of those human mutant aliens? Cool. And that's Kill Owner.
Yeah.
And well, if you're interested in more about the story of the concept, then Bandcamp has the illustrated. The graphic artist Will Phillips partnered with us to do illustrations beside the story, so you can get really involved in the story and read it. We have a digital version available, and we also have a paperback that you can order from us at our Bandcamp page. Yeah. Now the biggest part of Kill Owner, I was saying, great album, I really enjoyed it and highly recommend it. It's 15 minutes of in-your-face death metal, pure death metal. A band that started like always with the labels of tech death and prog death, progress, unlike others that add details and niches, you guys peeled off the labels off, and it's straight up death metal.
you had asked before what the reception has been like to the record, and Lita gave an answer in the other take we have. But from my perspective, like again, Lacerated Enemy has been awesome. Them with Clawhammer PR have done a great job of reaching new audiences with that. The one thing I've kind of noticed is that there is a segment of Tech Death fans who had maybe heard of us as a Tech Death band and maybe were disappointed by the album, expecting there to be lots of leads and for it to be really wheedly and hyper blasty, and that's not what Kill Owner is. It's sort of like a shot of adrenaline to the heart. So I think that there are some people that didn't get what they expected and therefore weren't super happy with it. But a lot of our fans, people that were already into the band, were like, "Holy shit, this is awesome!" It's short though.
So we're gonna watch here reading bits from the album Kelowna. Yeah. You guys had a lot of fun filming the video, you said, right?
Yeah.
And it's like
It's City Zero Films.
With serious,
City Zero Films. Yeah. With Dan and Lee from Demon Cleaver, they are so awesome to work with. Like super professional. They have an awesome vision. I guess I kind of like, we kind of like gave them a really rough idea. Like I was essentially like, I wanted to be brutal and gross and shocking and maybe epileptic. And they took that away, and they really just kind of, pointed us to where to go and nailed our vision.
They're pretty creatively ingenious as well. Like all the stuff that looks like horror video footage, sort of like the movie Alien that's in the video, they came up with and shot themselves with sort of jury-rigged materials, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have to do a shout out to Mina for getting squid all over her face. There's like little clips in the video where you see like hair and everything, and that is that's a friend of ours, Mina, who let Dan put like Safeway or like Market squid all over her face and in her hair, and when they were doing that, one of the squids leaked ink all over her face.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that wasn't even intentional, but that was legendary of her, and we didn't know she did that till after the video was released. I never met her until after seeing the video.
Oh my god.
That was incredible. That was incredible.
Let's watch all that craziness then. Thank you very much, guys, for this interview.
Of course.
Thanks for doing it twice.
Yeah, I was going to say, thank you for doing it twice. I'm sorry that the THC curse rained down on
now
you.
you're like a master in deep THC lore. You know everything.
Yeah, you know everything now.
I really enjoyed talking to you guys. It was very nice to catch up and see your faces.
Great to see you.
Likewise.
And
likewise.
Yeah, we're gonna watch the music video now. Hopefully, we'll get to see you guys live again and hear Kelowna live soon. But for now, here's the Hallowed Catharsis with Reading Bits.
of the things we've been talking about in our band lately is what our like best medium of stepping out politically is, because it's been obviously a very politically turbulent time, and like let's not let it go mistaken. We're definitely not a right-leaning fascist sympathizing band in the slightest. We're fully 100% against that and against any type of bigotry and hatred. What has been a discussion, like with Lita transitioning, and there's like lots of other stuff in the band. The band's music is about a sci-fi universe, and that is more about like the chaos and that happens and the futility of pushing against that. We don't really address social issues head on. It's more like the universe will crush you. But as a group of individuals that are a family, like we're for the betterment of everyone's conditions.
I do think it has been an interesting time because we are all politically leaning people, I think.
I guess the discussion has been like, we're not a political band, but we're not political people, and we're a band. So
yeah, so I guess it's interesting in that regard, and trying to navigate, like, you know, with I think a very fresh example is with you know, I came out as transgender recently, and or at least publicly recently, and that has been kind of like the biggest foray into politics we've ever done publicly as a band. Would you say? Like addressing it whatsoever?
I guess
political.
But then I wonder who would look at us with the racial diversity and gender diversity that we have in our group, and they're like, these guys look like some bootlickers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That would surprise me.
It would surprise me. We hate racists.
Yeah.
We hate fascists. We hate homophobic people. We hate transphobic people. We hate TERFs. We hate SWERFs.
But we support and advocate for anyone that is trying to improve the lives of people and not put people down.
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a better way to put it. But if you're offended by any of that, then like, go fuck yourself. You know.
So you heard it here first.
Yeah. Now is a real hard time where people are feeling very defensive, I think. And I just think that signals a paradigm shift. Like, I think that means we're on the edge of something good. I think people are breaking down, and we're about to see an awesome surge in heavy music. Like, I do think we're about to see an awesome surge in heavy music, and in an open-minded sense, in a very progressive, not musical, but like progressive-minded sense. I really do think that metal is just about to give itself a push, because it has always been the, you know, amongst like the ultimate outcast styles of music, and it's always getting more and more pushed into the spotlight, I feel like. And while that kind of sucks for like the subterranean nerds like me out there, it also signifies a lot of social change, and I think making metal more inclusive is only going to make it better. You know, I think opening the gates is only going to make it better.
Absolutely. What maybe relates to this a little bit is our goofy, hard to say band name, the Hallowed Catharsis. Catharsis is the feeling of peace after purging emotions, and hallowed means it's revered or sacred to you. So our band, the Hallowed Catharsis, is like the sacred release of emotions coming to peace, and that comes from the experience of us playing the music and getting all those vibes out, and then, you know, building a good community and through metal music. But it's that glorious purge of emotions bringing you to a state of peace. And then after all that, it's an acronym for THC, because, you know, smoke weed every day.
Every day.
Yeah, that was a beautiful concept on the band name there. Yes.
Too bad no one can say it.
Well, people are starting to be able to say it now. We part of the THC curse is for the first like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years of being a band, like we would play shows, and like maybe a venue would write the band name on a billboard, and we played shows where we're just like hollowed. Like it'll be like Neck of the Woods, Hollowed, Cryptic Enslavement. And I'm like, you know what? You gotta A+ for trying.
There's a comment on one of the YouTube videos recently where a guy wrote, "I know what the means and hallowed and catharsis, but put the 3 together and I'm lost."
Yeah, well, you heard it here first, man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's the idea.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
No, yeah.
If anybody is, struggling with anything or having a hard time or unsure about anything or wants people to talk to or bounce things off of or whatever the fuck, please write to us on Instagram or Facebook or any of us personally, reach out. Everybody is going through hard shit, but it's hard when you don't know anybody to talk to, and it's hard when you feel like there's not a space for you in your community. So fucking reach out to us. We love the Catharsis crew, and we just want to make more homies, and we fucking really do care. And fuck fascists.
Alright, awesome.
Cool.
Cool.
In the first take of the interview that we unfortunately lost, we discussed and mentioned that we have a more in-depth interview with Lita and her words on her recent transition and how has it been received by the community, and many other thoughts as well. It's a really good interview by Kim Abley on the orangezine.com. Check it out. And up next we have the interview with a new band. We're going to introduce you to Snakeblade. They had their debut album released this year in 2020. It's a one-man band project with Mike Redstone. So here's our interview with Mike. We hope you enjoy it. And here is Snakeblade. Since we don't have shows for people to be introduced to the bands, right? And then say like, oh, I'm gonna go to that show, and then you discover the band there.
Yeah.
Like you don't have that anymore.
No.
So we wanna put it out here, right? Like, and then here we say like, hey, check out this band,
Mm-hmm.
and like here's some of the music, and he's actually the guy in the band.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
yeah. So hopefully it helps during these times to make that connection.
Yeah,
between
man. No,
the
I think
bands and the fans.
This will be super helpful because everything with Snakeblade was just started months ago.
Yeah.
So I think this will be really, really good.
Yeah.
Snakeblade it was all started months ago during the quarantine. It was really just all about escaping the anxiety and some of the boredom that I was feeling during the quarantine, and so I really just kind of absorbed myself in this new project. I've been a musician for a while now in a couple local projects.
Okay. Commandra, I know.
Yep. Yeah. So Commandra, I play bass in,
Yeah.
and they're like an extreme sort of, not completely tech death, but pretty technical death metal.
Yeah.
And as well, Moonshooter was kind of the very first project I started.
Mhm.
And it's also another solo thing.
Oh.
Yeah, so Moonshooter is a little bit more like alternative metal, a little bit softer, and I wanted to try something new, get into a little bit more of a genre that I hadn't touched before, which was black metal. And so, yeah, I just started writing during the quarantine, and everything just flowed super naturally.
Yeah, so Snakeblade is not a project that you had back in your mind before. It was creatively pushed because of the quarantine, right? It's
Yeah.
Okay, like an escape from like all this,
Yeah.
and then you go into black metal, right? So like you go into like a more darker
Yeah.
kind of expression.
Yeah, so yeah, it was all super recent, and black metal was sort of something that I never touched before, but I wanted to do my own spin on it.
Yeah,
So Snakeblade is one man black metal, but it's probably not what you typically think of
yeah,
when you're thinking of one man black metal. It's really fun. It's really energetic, and it's really upbeat. And it's all about. I wrote it during a time that I was kind of trying to escape, so I wanted to make it like a very fun.
more than black metal. I think it's more like black and power folk metal, right?
Yeah.
Like, and yes.
I've seen like lots of people have tried to give it a label, and it's gotten so many different things.
Yeah.
Melodic black metal is probably what would be the most concise way.
That can work.
Yeah.
As well.
But
so.
people have also said like black and thrash, black and death metal, somewhere. It's a big mix of everything. Yeah.
Cool. And the album just came out. So within a few months, you conceptualized a band, wrote songs, recorded them, and released an album.
Yep. Yeah, so The Kingdom is my first album. When I started writing, I really wasn't planning on writing an album. I didn't have any idea of like, this is going to be the album, this is going to be the song layout, this is the style I'm going to go for. I just kind of did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a ton of time on my hand because nothing was going on and everybody was locked up. And so I wrote and wrote and wrote, and then by the end of it, I had about 5 original songs that I thought stuck together really well, and had sort of similar lyrical themes on them. The last song, there's 6 songs on the album. The last one is actually a cover of Truant. It's a cover of Truant's "Devoted to Destruction," which I love Truant, and
I would love to have Truant here on the show.
Yeah,
so
you guys should come on the show.
Please, yeah. We'll talk.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs of theirs, and during the time I was writing it, they actually just posted the tabs for it, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I should do like a black metal take of a cover song or something and do like a spin on it, and they just happened to post that. I'm like, I love that song, I'm going to do that one. So yeah, there's 6 songs on the album. It was all recorded within about a month from my bedroom. True bedroom black metal, all done from
also
home.
Producer.
I did actually. Yeah, well, I actually hired a friend of a friend to do the mixing on it.
Okay.
So I had a mixer and a masterer do the work on it. Miles at Diretone Music was the guy who mixed it. He's really, really talented. Cool. Really easy to work with. And Logan McDonald, which actually our friend Kim Abley recommended.
Okay.
Did the mastering on it.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they were
Artwork.
super, super helpful. Mm-hmm. Like, I could not have made it sound the way they did. Like, the stuff that I gave them versus what they came back is really impressive.
Yeah.
And that was also my first time working with professionals and engineers who know what they're doing.
Wow. With
the other solo stuff, it's always just been me doing it. So it was super, super helpful. Really great learning experience too. And yeah, and the album was actually made even more special because I had some guests do solos on it.
Oh, cool.
So I wanted to kind of pay tribute to the local scene, and work with some of like my favorite musicians that I've met throughout the time here in Vancouver. So on the Truant song, Matt from Truant
Yeah.
does the solo on there. From Proto Sequence, Dylan Parker does a solo on a song called Scavenger. And then from Caius.
Caius, yeah.
Yeah, Devin Towes does the solo. Yeah.
That's awesome then, like a lot of collaboration with local musicians. And when you don't have that form of like playing together at a venue, at a bar, but then you somehow found the way of like talking to other bands and organizing something, in this case, a recording, right?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of all those bands, and so it was pretty special for me actually to be like, hey, do you want to do a solo on this? And I was really surprised and like really happy with just how open they were. Everybody was super easy to work with, and very interested in like a new project that they never even heard of because Snakeblade is such a new thing.
Yeah.
So it was really, really cool of them to join on the album, and great working with all of them.
It's a pretty good point, right? So you have a project, people don't know it, but people know the person or like the connections, and or there is some support there just because of being a local band, or what is it that you think worked to make the collaboration work most? Was the friendship, or was just was the eagerness from people to do something? Or?
Yeah, definitely knowing the guys off stage helped. Like, it's me and the guys from Truant kind of have a little bit of a history. Like I mentioned I used to run a blog when I was in university, and during
Victoria.
that time I met them because I did an interview with Spencer.
Okay.
And so I kind of met the guys, and then we would see each other at shows and stuff like that. And so, yeah, like having that connection, like same with Devin, I knew before. But like for example, the Dylan, I never actually met him in person. And I just reached out, and I think he was kind of in the same place that I was during quarantine, which is having lots of time. Yeah. He's probably writing lots of music himself, but having lots of time on your hands, and it was really sweet of him just to be open to new projects. I just sent him over a track. He gave it a listen. He was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, I like this. Let's do it."
All right.
Yeah.
And school you were in Victoria.
Yeah.
Right? That's where you had the blog then back in those days.
Yeah, I went to UVic.
And then, UVic. So you're familiar with different parts of the scenes in BC, right? So we focus not in Vancouver. I mean, like it's more like in the whole of BC. Hopefully, have a lot of bands here from the island. Hopefully, we'll start showing more bands from the Cheer as well, and from the north. But so do you think it's integrated throughout BC, or what differences do you see in how does it work for the scene to move ahead or flourish between the island and the mainland?
Yeah, both scenes are awesome. Vancouver is just a little bit bigger city, so there's more bands and there's more shows. But in Victoria, like, there's a really dedicated community, even at UVic, the heavy metal club there, which used to be run by Casey. Yeah. That was awesome. We used to have like these heavy metal gatherings at UVic where we'd like go out in the forest, and Casey would organize this, and we'd have like a bunch of tiki torches and go in like the middle of the forest in Victoria, and like just blast some metal and party. And that was really cool to be a part of. Yeah, they're both awesome scenes, and there's so many great bands from both of them.
Yeah.
Since graduating, I graduated in business, but music, I realized during my time there, was like what I really truly loved.
Yeah.
And so when I came back, I was like, I got to do something with music, and that's how my first projects, Moonshooter, all started.
Yeah.
And then eventually led into Commandra, and now into Snakeblade.
Yeah. I mentioned then, at the beginning, recently graduated here, and then you reached out the Invisible Orange to do something around music business, then maybe, right?
Yeah.
And then start working, but it was a very short time, because then your calling for music became some sort of like almost full-time thing, just like creating, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I really wanted to get out into the scene and just to learn about it. So that's why I first started the blog, and that was kind of like my first introduction. And then when I moved back home, I already knew about like the Invisible Orange and Modified Ghost and promoters around here, and I thought it'd be really great to get to know one of them and volunteer a little bit and learn about, meet the people and then learn about how everything works at concerts and stuff like that. So it was such a great experience volunteering for you, and if I had more free time and the energy to do it, I would definitely still be volunteering. But
you can write. No.
Yeah, for the orangeZine. Yeah.
No pressure. Had a couple videos, one lyric video and one playthrough.
Yeah. So I've got some playthrough videos.
What song is it?
I have one for To the Pits with the Balrog and one for When Kingdoms Collide. And those are videos just taken at home with me jamming out, recording straight into the computer. It's just a one-take playthrough of me doing guitar and vocals. I would love to do a music video. It's definitely tough being like a one-man project to be able to afford everything and to do everything you can for the project. But eventually, I've already started writing new material and have big plans for doing more videos and things like that down the road. And like I mentioned, Snakeblade's a one-man project, but I would actually love for it to turn into a full band. So I've been talking with a few drummers around Vancouver, and hopefully, if not for the next EP or album, for the one maybe after that, it will be a full band recording. And then once that's set, then I would love to do like a full music video, like, explain the concept behind the song and everything.
Okay, so there we go. We have the future plans for Snakeblade as well. Then maybe we can also talk a little bit about the other project. Hopefully we can have them later on in the show too, like Commandra. It's more Steve's project, I would think. It's his baby more. Like, Steve Maloney. So it's Steve, Rob, and Graham. They're the two guitarists. And I met them actually through Moonshooter. It was funny, I was putting out ads for Moonshooter to... Your other solo project.
My other solo project, Moonshooter. I was putting out ads on Craigslist to try and find people for that project, and they ended up getting back to me saying, hey, we love what you're doing, but we're actually looking for a bass player for Commander. Would you be interested? But I met up with them, and they were all really fun guys, and playing like really great music. It's really fun, like tech death sort of thing. We just did a live session for the Rock and Roll Pride that Jade organized.
Got to see that a little bit.
We had a set in that, and we're hoping to do an album or maybe a single
more thing. It wasn't planned, but you're wearing the Hallowed Catharsis shirt right now, and they're also in this episode.
Yep.
I'm gonna have them here. Like I have an interview with Hallowed Catharsis as well.
I know.
And,
it's funny.
Great local band. So.
I know the new album, guys. I love it.
Oh, so good.
It's great. Keep it up. Yeah, man. That's funny. I've always been into the T-shirts, so I try and support local bands and buy their merch. And yeah, wasn't planned at all, but this is a sweet shirt, so good work.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mike Redstone from Snakeblade and many other projects as well. So it was nice chatting with you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Cheers.
Yeah, here we are. And now you know Snakeblade. Check it out. You have all the links at Bandcamp and for a couple other videos. And thank you for watching. And let's keep supporting the local scene. You see like how between each other can collaborate and make it work and get the creativity going, right? So, yeah, good for you. Good for you for keeping it going. So, yeah, thanks.